Let's begin. Today's October 15th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 5 criteria cards. Criteria card 3, 7, 8, 15, and 19. And the puzzle uses the green verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. Criteria card A takes a look at our middle digit, the square digit, and compares it to the number 3. So should the value of square be less than 3? Should it be equal to 3? Or should the value of square be greater than 3? Criteria card B takes a look at our last digit, the circle digit, and the Turing machine will let us know whether it's an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card C will take a look at our 3-digit solution and will let us know how many of those digits are 1. Are there no ones? Is there a single one? Perhaps 2? Maybe even all 3 are 1. Criteria card D will take a look at our 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, and the Turing machine will let us know which one is the absolute largest. Should triangle be the largest? Should square be the largest? Or should circle be the largest? And finally, criteria card E will take a look at our first 2 digits, triangle and square, add them up, and compare the sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should it be equal to 6? Or should the sum be greater than 6? And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by all the 5 criteria cards we just discussed. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I like to test is criteria card B. I like to know a little bit about that circle digit. Okay, so the Turing machine approves of my choice. I did pick an even 4. And the Turing machine confirms that yes, the circle digit should actually be an even digit. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section B. And we'll say that circle is an even digit. And of course, since it is even, we can cross out all of the 3 odds. Okay. So I think the next thing I'd like to test is criteria card E. Okay, so the Turing machine approves of my choice for triangle and square. Notice that when I add up 3 and 1, I do get 4. 4 is less than 6. So yes, in general, the sum of the first 2 digits, triangle and square, should be less than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes, and that's in section E, and that is that triangle plus square should be less than 6. And what can we say about triangle and square if their sum is less than 6? Well, what we could say is that neither triangle nor square can be 5, because if you take 5 and add even the smallest digit of 1, that sum is already equal to 6. And of course, anything greater than 1 will just make that sum even larger. So yeah, we can actually cross out the 5s in both triangle and square. And so what we can say is that so far the values of triangle and square are going to be somewhere between 1 and 4. Okay, so let's see, what else can we do here? Obviously, knowing probably square, if we can pinpoint square, we can figure out what triangle might be. And So this is also interesting. It just happens that all of the 5s are canceled. So at the moment, the largest value that could occur in our solution is 4. But all of them are available. So what else can we say? It would be interesting if there were no 1s, because that would limit our choices to 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. Oh, also, let's see. Since we do have a largest, well, yeah, I guess even technically a 2 could be the largest. It could be 1, 1, 2, but that's highly unlikely. Should we try to limit what square is? I did choose a 1 for square. Yeah, let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Okay, so it is not the case that the square value is going to be less than 3, because, well, my 1 would be less than 3, but the Turing Machine does not approve of it. So square is either going to be equal to 3 or greater than 3. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes for section A, and we'll state that square is either equal to or greater than 3. Okay, and of course, since that's the case, that means we can actually cross out both 1 and 2. So let's see, what are the implications of that fact? We are looking for sums that are less than 6. So it seems that if square is 3, obviously a triangle can't be 3 or 4. Is that right? I think we can cross out 3 and 4. Again, because if square were 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. And of course, 3 plus 4 is 7. Now, we can't cross out the 4 in square because you could still add it up to 1. Okay. Well, that does it for this round. We've already completed our 3 Turing tests. Now we're going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice we did not test criteria card C, letting us know how many 1s there are, and we didn't test criteria card D, indicating which of the 3 digits is the largest digit. And so even though criteria card A is still sort of out, we don't know whether it is equal to 3 or greater than 3. We do have C and D that should help us to narrow our choices down. So let's take a look. What if, and at this point, either there is a 1 or there isn't, right? Triangle is the only value that has 1 available. So it's either there or it's not. So that's sort of a 50-50. So what if there were no 1s? If there were no 1s, we would have as possible solutions of 2, 3, 2 or 2, 3, 4. And there's really nothing that says that you can't have, pair of numbers. 3 is the largest, 4 is the largest. So if that were the case, we would know that we could, distinguish between those two possibilities based on what criteria card B would let us know. So that's a possibility if there is no 1. So let's go ahead. Let's see. Why don't we type them out? So I'm proposing that 232 is a possible solution and 234. Okay, that is the case if there is no 1. And I believe those would be the only possibilities. Obviously 2-4 would not work because that's 6. So, and the way to distinguish these two answer choices is with criteria card B. So I think, yeah, those are viable solutions. No ambiguous. There's no ambiguity. We can distinguish between them. Okay. And so let's go ahead and say, okay, there could be a 1. So what could we have? We could have 132. Yeah. And 134. Okay. And I believe that's it for the squares 3. And then we could have 142. And I think that's it. So let's see. If we take a look and we choose, say we were to choose the largest, and it happens to be square. So it looks like the first, the third, and the fifth all qualify as the middle digit, the square digit, being the largest. The question is there any way to distinguish those possible solutions? Can we distinguish? So it would seem, well, 2 of them do have a 1, so you wouldn't be able to distinguish those. So can we cross them out? Could you cross them out? 132 and 142. Well, I guess they are distinct in that even though they are the largest, criteria card A could distinguish them. So no, I don't think you can cross them out. I guess we're just going to have to, test something out. So obviously, yeah, triangle can't be the largest, right? There's no way that could happen. So yeah, so it does come down to either square or circle. And there are, some solutions that do have a 1. And of course, some solutions that have 3 or 4. So it might be that we just have to test all 3. Trying to think of, can we eliminate, could we assume, or not assume, could we deduce one of those? I'd hate to retest criteria card A, but let's see, what is the most likely scenario? Let's take a look at circle being the largest. So it looks like the 4th and the 2nd, both of those have circle as the largest. Is there a way to distinguish them? Sure. One answer choice 4 has a 1, the other one does not. So yeah, even then you can distinguish between that. Okay, well, let's see. Is there anything that I'm just trying to see if there's some other distinguishing feature. We do have the second and the fourth where they're increasing. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Let's go ahead and I think I'm just going to choose 1, 3, 2. Okay. Well, let's see. What can we test? Let's go ahead and test criteria card C. Is there a 1 or not? Okay, the Turing Machine does not approve of a single 1 in my solution. Obviously, there's only 1 available, but the fact that it does not approve of it lets us know, okay, let's cancel all the ones that have a 1. Very interesting. So all of these become invalid. And so let's go ahead and cross out the 1 for triangle, which still allows oh, well, if there is no 1, then square can't be 4 because that's a 6. Okay. And yeah, now I think if we just test, oh, that's interesting. Wait, if we test, oh yes, of course, if we test criteria card D to see which is the largest, is it square or circle, then we should narrow down our solution. So let's see, is there any way where we could deduce it? Again, 232 is valid. I don't see it breaking any rules. Yeah, so I don't think we can deduce. So let's go ahead and test D. Okay, it also does not approve of square being the largest. So let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, I did neglect to update my notes here. So we'll just quickly say that the solution has no 1 digit. And we already crossed out all the digits associated with that. And then D, because it does not approve of square, we'll say we're going to deduce that circle is the largest. Even though we kind of have narrowed it down, we technically did not confirm that circle is, but based on our deductions, circle is the largest. Okay, and because obviously 2 can't be the largest, it has to be a 4. Let's go ahead and cross it out, and that would mean that the solution is 2, 3, 4. So let's cross out 2, 3, 2 down here. And so, yeah, it looks like 2, 3, 4 is our solution. And we are going to deduce criteria card A that obviously square is 3. But other than that, it looks like we got our solution. Although, there we go. We've got our solution printed in front of us. And so let's quickly verify. Again, we are deducing that square is 3. Okay. Circle is an even digit. Yes, it's 4. Solution has no 1 digits. That's correct. And we deduce that circle must be the largest. 4 is the largest. That's our circle digit. And the sum of the first 2 is less than 6. Looks great. So let's go verify. So our solution was 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And how do we do versus a Turing machine? Well, we have 5 criteria cards and we tested all 5 just once. So that's great. So we did A, B, E in the first round and then C, D in the last. So let's go ahead and type that up. Again, that's A, B, E. So A was incorrect. B and E were correct. And a little surprisingly, both C and D were incorrect in the last round. And so, wow, we beat it by 2 questions. Okay. So, try to look back and see what kind of gave us the advantage. As best as I can tell, we just picked good first round questions. That way we kind of narrowed the possibilities really down to 5. And it just happened that, and as you noticed, we got 2 incorrect at the end. So obviously my second round proposal just did not work out. But, we were set up so that regardless of the fact that we got them wrong, we were still able to make good conclusions, good deductions to narrow down the true 3-digit solution. Well, what do you think? How did you approach it? Did you pick different criteria cards that still led to a correct answer? And what did you notice? Add your thoughts to the comments. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up so that more people can find the channel. And of course, hit subscribe to not miss out on any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.